Game 7 here on Catalina. Let's host this up and see what's going to happen. On the left hand side of the map we have our Orange Town player. From Gravity, it's BeaSt. And down to the bottom side of the map from Imaginary Gaming, it is TargA. Taking game number 6 fairly easily, fairly simply. Can he take game number 7 and secure the win here for Imaginary Gaming in week 1 of the SCTITL? This is the final match of the first week of competition. It's gone fast, but it's been amazing, guys. It's been so much fun, and I'm glad that all of you guys have joined me for it. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah. Thanks, Spam and Rice, is saying Ian for he's saying thanks for great casting and interaction. Well, thanks for watching. Always, wouldn't be here doing it without you guys watching. Well, that's maybe a lie, because I guess I used to do this without people watching, but I probably wouldn't have kept on doing it up until now if people were still not watching. Because it gets to a point where you're like, no, this is just depressing, right? If you do enjoy the stream, guys, make sure you hit that follow button, see when we go live with all of the SC2ITL matches. If you're really enjoying the stream, you can subscribe, and that generally just helps support the channel in general. Otherwise, you can also... what else could you do? I don't know. You can donate as well if you want to increase the prize pool of the Team League. So yeah, Catalina, pretty nice map for TVZ actually, as BeaSt moves out on the map to go for a little bit of a scout. Barracks on the way. No gas just yet, so just maybe a gasless expand or something, as TargA has opened up the exact same way. Gas first into a pool, and well, this could be another pretty quick one. So we've already actually had 2 really fast series in this. We've already had 2 really fast series. Sorry, maps, and this could be a 3rd. Let's see how BeaSt can do. He is scouting early on, so he's going to see the gas at least. Dat replay. Yes, we are casting from replays. We're not hiding that. I'm casting from replays because it is it was played while we're casting another match. It looks like I'm in a dorm right now. I tell you what, when we finish this game, we can. I'll show you my room. Well, it's a bit messy, but I'll show you my room anyway. But it's not really. It's a lot bigger than my dorm when I was in halls. I don't think it looks like a dorm at all, but maybe it's just the angle on the webcam. Who knows? Who knows? We've got Zerglings coming across the map here. That SCV did get into the base, as he did see the gas, so he knows what's up. He's got a bunker on the way. A little bit of a far back position, and this was a gas expanse. I mean, he doesn't have Hellions. He doesn't have Hellions, and his Zergling's not going to be able to quite do anything just yet. He's going to delay this command center, though. Whoa, the SCV escapes. He gets out alive. Oh, he probably could have been killed off there, but decided not to. Some more drones being made from TargA, and with Zergling speed, he's actually going to be able to keep on denying this command center for a little bit longer. Actually, no, he won't. He missed targets there, and doesn't quite manage to grab that SCV. So, there we go. Finally gets the SCV, and the command center is still delayed. So this is really annoying right now for BeaSt, as he has to send down another SCV to deal with this. 3rd command center coming up. This was a gasless 3 command center build, so I mean, this is very, very greedy out of BeaSt. This is pretty much as greedy as you can get. The only thing that gets greedier from this point on is if he takes double engineering base before getting his extra gases. So let's wait and see what he decides to do. Zerglin tries to run by, but doesn't see much, but he does see the 3rd CC. So he knows how fast this 3rd command center is. He knows exactly what his opponent's doing. And I wonder if he just decides to all in and just punish this early, stop stop it from from ever getting anywhere, basically. Stop the economy from ever really flowing, right? Stop him from ever really getting into the kind of sick position which he's hoping to get into, because this is kind of, some people refer to it as economic cheese, but like, I don't really like that description. I just like to think of it as mega greed. Double factory follow-up. Ooh, interesting. That's different. So I guess we're going to see 3 Hellions made at a time here, and Infernal Pre-Igniter coming down pretty early on. I guess, but I could be wrong. But yeah, this is interesting. I mean, that actually makes this much less punishable because you know, you're gonna have gonna have the potential to make tanks very soon. You're gonna have the Hellions, which will deal with any kind of just Ling Bane bust. And again, the roaches, but you know, if there's roaches coming as well, then you will just be able to have, you know, get a tank out as long as you realize it's coming soon enough and you start producing it early enough. Bane and Ness will come down in the back of the mineral line here then for TargA as he starts up a third base as well. So all just going pretty standardly for him so far. A couple of creep tumors are slowly pushing forwards. Nothing really too crazy as these creep tumors move forwards just a little bit further. A couple more creep tumors coming down here. So Spankroll will move to the front a little bit more so as well. And the first two Hellions, they're going to get deflected pretty darn quickly here. And there's more Hellions on the way in that production tab. Of course, Infinite Ignite did start up, so it was what I thought it would be. Just the kind of blue flame Hellion build. And this could do a lot of damage if TargA doesn't get a roach drawing up. We'll see. I mean, I guess he does have a... to be fair, he does have a lot of queens out, so that's going to help him a lot. He does have a Spankroll near the front too. Still has to be careful though. This is pretty smart from BeaSt, hiding his Hellions and his extra Hellions in the back. So what he's doing is he's only allowing the two Hellions from the reacted factory to come across the map at a time. Because if TargA suddenly sees 3 Hellions show up out of nowhere, then he's like, or 1 Hellion, he's like, well, that's a little bit weird, that's a little bit off. And that might trigger him to scout or just trigger him to just blindly, you know, assume. Because, you know, these players, you know, they see the slightest of signs of things and, you know, that's all they need. So, yeah, Blue Flame's about to finish up though, so in 10 seconds time he can't really afford to fire for these Hellions ever again until he wants to reveal his strategy. And he's moving some drone SCVs over to the third base right now. And that's possibly at the worst possible time because these Lings are on the way over there to kill them. So we're going to see a few more SCVs die, and he sees the rest of the Hellions as well. So actually this is great for TargA. Not only does he deny a bunch of SCVs and he kills 3 and he actually gets out of the Lings, but he also sees the mass amount of the Hellions and he's going to start up just more Zerglings. He's not worried, he's just going to say bring it. He's just like, bring it man, you're going to roast me to death, roast me all day. If these turn, you know, if he made an armor and turned these into Hellbats, this could do so much damage. He's going to do quite a bit anyways, as these Lings pop out, and he's already killed off 9-10 workers. Queens will come up here, and again, they will help out a lot against these Hellions. As a lot of Zerglings are going down in the meantime. 14 drones, 15 drones now killed. 16 workers killed. This is really nice, and he gets away with a lot of the Hellions as well. A couple more Lings ran back in towards this third and managed to pick off 3 more workers. As more Hellions are trying to run by into the natural, but actually TargA shuts this down without any issue at all. So that's really nice, as these Queens are actually going to start picking off Hellions, and there's 1, there's 2. And these Hellions will pick off a couple more drones, but nothing really too significant there. 17 kills in total, then 18 kills in total, maybe 1 more, could have maybe got 2 more then. And made it 20, but not quite. So 20-ish drones killed, that's pretty good going. The 1-1 upgrades ahead for the Zerg player, which is something you don't see every day. Spy about to finish as well, so Mule's going to be out here very soon as the next couple of Hellions going to go down. So my question is it worth it? Because he's killed 18 drones for 18 Hellions. That's a hell of a lot of Hellions. He's killed a lot of Zerglings too. Resource loss is actually fairly even. I think it's okay, but I mean, TargA's just re-droned heavily behind this. He's already back up to 63 drones here. It's, pretty crazy. So, we've got some Banelings morphing in. And do we have Baneling speed? No, we don't. So that's something TargA really needs to get on top of fairly soon here. Because if BeaSt pushes before he gets Baneling speed, that's going to be a little bit troublesome. So he does need to be a little bit careful about that. These Hellions are moving across the map and they're going to look to get a little bit more damage done. 1-1 about to finish up for the town player here. And Armory is coming up here very shortly too. As these Zerglings will move forward and see what they can do. Turned around very quickly. Okay, so absolutely nothing is the answer. Combat Shields finishes up though as well, and our town players start getting into his mid-game composition with the Marine, the Marauder. First few Medivacs, I imagine not very far away. Starboard? Okay, there it is, building the reactor. And of course, excuse me again. And of course, 2-2 should be on the way very soon for our town player as well. So the come into the main base here straight away, and they pick off a SCV or so, but nothing too crazy. A lot of turrets on the way up, so really going to focus on the static defense to just completely ignore the Mutalisks so that he doesn't get pulled back across the map. There's nothing more frustrating for a Terran player than having to chase around Mutalisks around your bases, and of course that is what can happen if you let up the aggression at all. You give them Mutalisks a chance to move out on the map. And that's a bit of a problem with the way BeaSt is opened here, right? Because he's opened with the early Hellions and a lot of Hellions, which delays his medevacs, delays his upgrades a bit, which means while TargA didn't really change his build to what he would usually do, he's got these Mutalisks out a lot earlier, so they're already able to be very aggressive. Whereas usually when the Mutas are first popping out, the Terran is kind of, you know, pushing back the creep a little, and you know, because of that, you can keep the Mutas on his own, you know, on the opponent, on the Zerg player's side of the map. So yeah, it's one of those things where I feel, you know, I feel as though this is why I just like sticking to my standard Terran builds, right? It's nice to change it up, but if he doesn't win the game with the Blue Flame Hellions, you're already putting yourself in a tough position. 17 Mutalisks are out, and he's only just now really moving across the map for the first time, you know, with his actual army. And, I mean, 2-2 is going to be finished for our attack the Zerg player as well, so upgrades are really favouring him. Yeah, as his Mutas are just going to fall back. The creep spread great as well. I feel as though BeaSt, you did great, you know, with these Hellions at the third base, he did a great job. But the ones he tried to run by into the natural, and the ones he lost over here as well, they really just didn't achieve very much, and I think that's been his main problem. He should have really been looking to deny creep with those, or get more damage done. Without doing either, TargA's found himself in a great position. And look at this, straight in, the turret goes down, and great control to pull that Mutalisk back as well. And he'll just keep moving forward. He'll lose a Mutalisk here, but I don't think he really cares. There's a couple of turrets. SCVs are repairing here very nicely, and TargA will eventually move away. But that wasn't... He actually took a lot of damage there. He's going to start toggling down reactors though, and shutting down the production here very nicely. There's some more turrets coming down. Marines stimming into the main base though. He's going to lose an entire barracks though, unless he... well, he might repair it in time. He does have a little while to repair it. It's on fire. It's burning. Okay, he's going to repair it. He keeps it alive. Scan coming down here. There's so much creep to clean up, and this is a pretty small portion of the army, and TargA's going to recognize this. He's going to move forwards and engage into this straight away, and that first wave is cleaned up without too much of an issue. And fourth base is going to get built here, or landed here. Okay, it's actually already built, so he's going to try and come across to land his fourth base. TargA will just be looking to fight and fight and fight. There's no Widowmines in this composition, and that's kind of immediately a telltale sign they should probably add on just a bunch more Banelings and just go for kind of a mass Bane kind of composition as the Zerg. He's just going to go for this anyway now, and BeaSt, he's very clumped up, but TargA doesn't really want to fight into that. He has a lot of units, and he was fighting into a choke basically, as he's actually going into Swarm Hosts. Wow, interesting. So Swarm Hosts on the way, and he's just going to play this out in a bit of a longer game. Only the first couple of Swarm Hosts being made, unless I've missed them coming up in production, which I don't think I have. These Mutants still being chased down by Marines. A creep premium will get cleared out, and another scan to clean up a little bit more creep. TargA moving down here though, and looks as though he might try and just take this fight. I mean, the creep is still active. He doesn't have the vision, but the creep is active as he makes 34 more Banelings, and that is what I've been waiting for. The extra Banelings coming in, and again, you know, especially against this again, this lack of mines, it's gonna work really, really well. Some Ling Bane going to look to try and come in towards this third base and be a little bit annoying. There's a nice wall set up actually to kind of deny this kind of attack in a bunker too, so they shouldn't be able to do too much, and SCVs are pulled in plenty of time. But over here we actually have this army moving forwards, and BeaSt is a little bit out of position. He's going to stim forwards. You see what he can do. Oh no, the Banelings doing a lot of damage here initially, and BeaSt will going to appear in out the rest of his army, but not before the command center falls. 11 SCVs alongside it, as these Zerglings have actually done a little bit over here. There's still some Banelings just kind of sitting AFK. This is not good for BeaSt. That was a big set of losses, and TargA's getting ready to go for round 2, man. He's building up Lings, he's building up Banes. He's maxed out, and he'll be happy to engage here as he's behind this. It means he's even getting +3 attack, he's getting adrenal glands. Things are looking good for him as these turrets will turn the Mutalisks around once again. I mean, this side defense, there's a lot of it, but it is doing its job. It's keeping these Mutalisks away, and yeah, so. Mutants are going to come forwards and pick off a couple of building reactors here, and contaminate one of them barracks as well, just to slow down the production, and Trying to come in towards this third base, not quite able to find too much there though. And there's the fifth base, oh sorry, is that the fourth? Is that only the fourth base? No, it's the fifth base. The fourth base all the way over here. So fifth base is being set up by TargA. He's again just getting into a really good position in terms of his overall economy. Drop is deflected because well, because yeah, I mean, drop is simply deflected because the meters start to run into it, but the meters do not pick it off. Obviously it does fall and TargA gets a little bit of a supply block for that, doesn't really matter because he's maxed out. Ultra's Cavern on the way, 3-3 on the way, Adrenal Gland still on the way as we mentioned previously. +3 weapons is finished for our Terran plane, +3 armor is halfway done, so I mean overall the upgrades are going to be fairly even, but usually upgrades aren't fairly even in TPZ. Usually the upgrades favour the Zerg player, favour the Terran player quite heavily, so for this again not really looking good for BeaSt. Medevac goes down there and a few Marines as well, loses a Mulus though, so not a perfect trade. As he's just going to stim over here and take down these Locusts, Mutas and Lings and a couple of Banelings. Thinking of moving forwards. As another scan comes down, you're going to see BeaSt cleaning out a bunch of this creep spread, but it's so far across the map. I mean, it's almost impossible to go anywhere without this creep spread being, you know, insanely annoying and, you know, having to walk on it basically. Planetary Fort is on the way up over here. As we're going to see this army move across into position to maybe engage if necessary. I think at this point, TargA's just going to take a little bit of a small fight and remax on the Ultras. He needs a little bit more gas, but that's manageable. He's split up into two chunks right now and might just come in from two different angles as BeaSt does walk onto creep. And Stimming is cleaning up, of course, but it takes a while to dissipate. Yeah, a few Locusts are slowly picking away at barracks as split begins to come in. Muta's actually just going to come forward and engage against these first few Marines. And we're just waiting to see what's going to happen next. Waiting to see when TargA will decide to fight, and it looks as though that moment is now. As BeaSt is going to start splitting away, but he's splitting in towards the next train of Banelings coming in from the right hand side, and TargA absolutely demolishes this. And I mean, he's just got the money to remax. He's got a load of money, already 7 meters being made. And behind that, he's got 3k, 1k in the bank. A few meters going to actually get locked, actually going to fall down here. But the Medevac's actually flying into the middle of nowhere, and well, not into the middle of nowhere, into the middle of the Muta cloud. 4 here will be able to help turn this away, as this Ultralisk is joining the party. A couple of Swarmers forced to lift up and move away. They've not really done too much this game, being a little bit annoying, harassing over here. That's about it. As the scan comes down, there's that bit more creep. BeaSt still in trouble. We're still talking about a maxed out TargA, who is about to hit him with the second wave. And he might actually just go for the economy maybe, or he's just going to go for the fight. Here we go, the Banelings start crashing in. The Ultras will follow this up, and well, the Banelings killing a lot there. And again, BeaSt just cannot really afford to trade like this. He needs really good fights right now. And some Zerglings are picking off what's kind of remaining of this third base. So that's about another 10 workers going down. Maybe not the best choice for our Zerg, but again, he's so far ahead, he can afford to do it. And you know, if you can afford to do it, then why not do it? So the Zerglings will go down. 12 SCVs killed. And again, BeaSt just struggling for money. I mean, main base, sorry, natural mined out, main base mined out, third base pretty much gone, no workers on it. And this fourth base past optimal saturation because it's the only place he's really got to send his workers right now. So, a couple of Medevac's going to load up and head along the left hand side. These barracks are in a little bit of trouble. So the Mutas just got to that higher number where they can just come into the main base, camp the production, pick off a number of Marines which isn't high enough to actually turn this around. There's a 4 actually getting ferried into the main base now to try and hold on. But this is still so frustrating to deal with. Contaminate, holding up the Medevac production for a little while here. As TargA actually added on some more swarm hosts, so slightly more Locusts moving across the map right now. Whoa, where did all these come from? What? I didn't realize he added on that many swarm hosts. I thought he added on 3 more. I didn't see the rest come up in production, so that's actually pretty insane. And when the Terran's so far behind already, I mean, you just can't trade well. You know, he's not got the money to switch into tanks, which is what he needs. He's never going to be able to. He's never going to be able to really make this work. And well, stemming forwards here, these units are Well, he's actually going to pick off some of these swarmers, but he's kind of running into Locusts, and as he runs into Locusts, it's just 3 damage. Mutas and Banelings and Ultimus crash into this planetary fortress, and that was the last man in base of BeaSt, who is still even in army supply, so he needs to win the game right now. Is he going to be able to? Swarmers will lift up, they will run away, as 56 more lings coming up in production. Is a Spire being killed or something? Is TargA in trouble? I don't think so. I mean, his base to the top side is being picked off, but he's got so many bases elsewhere, and he's still got these lings and ultra up here, and he might lose this hatchery or so, but he's got some balance on the high ground. These balance are going to be more than enough, and oh no! Not prepared for that at all. BeaSt losing a lot of the army, and again, I mean, TargA just has enough. He's still got a bank as well, so we'll just slowly be able to rebuild this. In fact, you know what? I think I've missed a massive drop, which is killed the Ultra Cavern, the Spire, and everything. I think that's where they've gone, because he's rebuilding everything. I'm sorry, guys. It's late. Is it midnight? I think it's almost midnight. It's almost midnight. I've been up since early. I didn't really sleep. I apologize. It dropped did some damage. It killed some buildings, and I mean, TargA's now going to move forwards and win the game. He's 80 army supply up, and still not quite happy to do so just yet. Gonna wait for his Locust, it seems. Oh no, gonna go for it. Well, the splits. We need to see the splits, boys. Let's see this. Okay, he just picks up and nothing really too exciting. Locust advancing forwards here, and I mean, again, this game is pretty much over. It looks as though Imaginary Gaming are going to pick up the first victory here in the SHITL Season 4. As Gravity we're so close, yet so far away. A great series out of them. Some great games. Trace taking down Revolver, very impressive. Mini Razor getting taken down by Sem, but that was a pretty good game as well. So Gravity showing themselves, showing people here, they have potential. They're not just going to be as much of a walkover as people perhaps think they might be. Because they came into the league as one of the underdogs, definitely, as drops are still going on. They came into the league as one of the underdogs. So Imaginary Gaming, probably not favourites to, do amazingly, but probably favoured against a team like Gravity, because they've got more well-known names, right? They've got TargA, they've got Mini Razor. So probably favoured here a little bit. But Gravity have shown they can keep up with this sort of team, and while there's definitely going to be tougher teams down the road, they can put out some pretty good games. They play against Redbloods next week, and Imaginary Gaming play against... I said it earlier today, I can't remember now though, guys, I'm sorry, but I think it's a pretty good match though. It's Imaginary Gaming versus someone quite good, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that. Zerglings here are going to be able to work their way through this refinery. There's actually been bases killed off everywhere. BeaSt doesn't really have anything left. The Mutas are continuing to just rip him to shreds. He's continuing to stem all over the place, but he's just got such a damaged army. He needs more medevacs, as these Mutas just continue to pick off the production, and slowly but surely this game will be won by TargA. He's really taking his time about it. He is really taking his time about it. He doesn't want this to be simple and easy. Orbital over here, gonna try and land, drop some mules perhaps, but let's creep over here, and mules are flying around. They're gonna chase after the orbital, and that's gonna die. Army will find a base to pick off, but again, not really that important. TargA has multiple bases over here to work with, and he's also got an entire army to actually defend this top right side, and this isn't really anything left, and I think this could be the final battle. Zerglings are going to start engaging. The stim comes down. I mean, there's just no health on any of these Marines. And Balins will move forward. It's going to crash into everything, and there's just nowhere near enough. And a few Marines left over, but they're not going to be able to deal with it. There's one swipe, two swipe, and actually that cleans up every last Marine. GG's called, and TargA takes